Was it bats, cats, or a Wuhan research facility that generated this virus? Even now, we don't know, and we wonder why we still don't know. Perhaps people just lost interest in the why while dealing with the results of the spread. Or perhaps it was just too frightening to reveal the truth. We do know it spreads human to human, not by animals. Some animals seem to catch the virus, animals in zoos, some pets, some dogs and cats. But we learned quickly that this virus spreads from human to human, and it spreads when you don't even feel sick. March 2020, lockdown begins. In the US, the first place to lock down was California, with a shelter-in-place order. We didn't even know what that meant. A generation of Cold War survivors who barely remembered how to shelter for nuclear attack were suddenly told to stay home. Back then, we thought this was a 2 to 3 week voluntary restriction to contain the virus. And then came the global lockdowns. We watched mesmerized and in awe as all businesses closed their doors. Everywhere it seemed, all over the planet, at least temporarily. We trusted the Center for Disease Control that things would soon be back to normal. Weeks became months. We were struggling to understand mixed messages. Governments across the world implemented different types of measures. Some closed entirely, like New Zealand, and others remained the same, like Sweden. We didn't understand how varied the intelligence could be across countries. Why would one place evaluate the same situation and conclude so many different approaches? It made people wary of their own governments. People started losing their jobs, and that's when the protests began. Economic failure begins. Our businesses started closing for good. People lost their jobs permanently. Our unemployment rates were in double digits. People took to the streets, begging to reopen the economy. The nation was on edge, and the suffering hit a breaking point. Black Lives Matter became more important than the virus. People needed to show that basic fundamental freedoms were not equal. Looking back, the protests didn't work. Not much changed. Except that now our fight has changed from a fight for equality to a fight for basic survival. COVID-19 vaccine was hailed as the savior of society. We all saw the vaccine trials move faster than ever in history. The fastest vaccine in history was measles and took 4 years. COVID-19 vaccines were approved in less than 6 months. Yes, people did think it was too soon. Yes, we wondered if it was safe. No, people didn't stop to think of long-term repercussions. Instead, they lined up to get the vaccine. All of our healthcare workers were getting vaccinated. We believed that the vaccine was safe until it wasn't. We started to see incidents, more and more of them, reactions getting worse. Healthcare workers started to get sick, but not from COVID. As time went on, vaccination reactions became more frequent and more severe. We didn't have enough healthcare professionals to provide care for them because it was the healthcare professionals who were actually falling ill by the thousands. They were quarantined, not because of COVID, but because of their reaction symptoms. They were actually dangerous to themselves and to others.